Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. It's been a while. I took last week off from uploading, and then I also took the end of the week off for filming, but before I took some time off I did film a mood reading vlog, so that is what we're getting today. I definitely needed the time off. You might have been able to tell in my last few videos, just March has been a bit of a month. And I haven't quite edited this video yet, so I don't know what I filmed, but I can guarantee it's low energy. This is supposed to be fun. I enjoy making this book content, and like, I don't monetize on YouTube yet, so it's okay to take some time off and like maintain that joy, and I have confidence in my habits around it and how much I enjoy it, that I know it's not going to be like a big deal, but I just needed it. And that's fine, and it was just what the doctor ordered. So now we're back into it. I'm going to edit this today. If it's low energy, I apologise. I'm hoping that the next few will go back to sort of regular content, which will be fun, and I'm hoping that my mood will probably translate better over the next few videos. Just a little bit of a warning on this one. It might not be the most polished or most upbeat, because I've just been going through it, you know. Today is the first day I did my hair all month, which is very voluminous. Voluminous? Yeah, voluminous. But yes, this is a mood reading vlog. I read 4 books with you guys, which you will see, and I am probably quite low energy, which you will also see. But let's get into it. Thank you for watching, and let's go. Guys, I'm so excited. This is one of my most anticipated reads of 2025. I'm so ready. I am so ready. Oh. The Ragpicker King by Cassandra Clare. This is the sequel to Swordcatcher, which is the Chronicles of Castellane is the name of the series. I love Cassandra Clare. She's like my OG autobiography author. I'll read anything that she writes. I will hear no slander for Cassandra Clare. None. Okay, so this is going to be a spoiler-free vlog, obviously. Always is. So I won't read you the blurb for the second book because it might give things away, but I will read you the blurb of the first book. Let's set the tone. In the vibrant city-state of Castellane, the richest of nobles and most debauched of criminals have one thing in common: the constant search for wealth, power, and the next hedonistic thrill. Kell is an orphan, stolen from the life he knew to become the Swordcatcher, the body double of a royal heir, Prince Connor Aurelian. He has been raised alongside the prince, trained in every aspect of combat and statecraft. He and Connor are as close as brothers, but Kell knows that his destiny is to die for Connor. No other future is possible. Lynn Caster is one of the Ashkar, a small community whose members still possess magical abilities. By law, they must live behind walls within the city, but Lynn, a physician, ventures out to tend to the sick and dying of Castellane. Despite her skills, she cannot heal her best friend without access to forbidden knowledge. After a failed assassination attempt brings Lynn and Kell together, they're drawn into the web of a mysterious Ragpicker King, the criminal ruler of Castellane's underworld, who offers them each what they want most. But as the two descend into his world of intrigue and shadow, they discover a conspiracy of corruption that reaches from the darkest gutters of Castellane to the highest towers of its palaces. As long-kept secrets begin to unravel, they must ask themselves, is knowledge worth the price of betrayal? Can forbidden love bring down a kingdom? And will their discoveries plunge their nation into war and the world into chaos? This was one of my favourite books from 2024, so to say I'm excited to dive into the second book is an understatement. Oh. Guys, okay, sorry. First book, we had a map. Second book, a map in colour. How exciting. So I can't really say the summary at the beginning here, but I will say messy. This ended on a very messy, high stakes note, so I can't wait. Let's jump in. Guys, I just took the sleeve off. Sorry. I just took the sleeve off because I can't read a book with the sleeve. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Oh, and you know that's Charlie Bowiter, don't you? You can recognise the Charlie Bowiter artwork. This is stunning. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, a little update. I did some reading today. I felt like I only read for like 10 minutes, but I read for 100 pages. This is flying by and I already don't want it to stop. There is something about Cassandra Clare and the way that she writes the unfolding of plots. The whole time, I don't even feel like I'm reading. It just goes, and the yearning. Oh, I love it. This is more of a like fantasy than a fantasy romance, but there is that little dash of romance in there, and there is the yearning, and there's just so much going on. I genuinely, I felt like I read for 10 minutes, but I'm already 100 pages in, which is so I'm going to keep reading. Hello, good morning. It is the next day. I kept going yesterday. I've got 150 pages left. Oh, the yearning. No one does it like Cassandra Clare. No one. I will not hear it. Oh my gosh. The way... I know it's all gonna go, like it's already started to sort of all hit the fan. It's not really stopped hitting the fan since we started, but the yearning, guys, the yearning, the way that I like gasp every time they make eye contact, or like this, Cassandra Clare gives me butterflies. Just any like, look. I don't want to finish it. I keep kind of putting it off because I don't want it to end. I feel sick. feel sick. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. A classic Cassandra Clare. I don't know why I put myself through this. Like, I hope that this is a trilogy so that the next one will wrap it up, because I don't know how much more of this my poor heart can take. Oh, that's the problem when you read something like as soon as it comes out, because you're just waiting an indeterminate amount of time until the next book comes out. 5 stars. five stars. And that also makes me really want to reread the Infernal Devices series, because this gave me the feeling that I've been chasing since I read that when I was like 14 or 15. No one does a little self-hating man quite like Cassandra Clare. She knocks it out of the park every time. Yeah, 5 stars. 5 stars. I'm going to film a bookshelf reorganize, which will already be up on my channel by the time this is out. So after that is done, I will pick my next read and take you along. Okay, I have finished editing my bookshelf organization, which should already be up by now. But it is quite late. It's 9 o'clock, so I think I'm gonna shower and head to bed. Well, shower and then read in bed. So the next book that I have chosen is Iron Flame. So I did speak about it in my 24-hour reading vlog when I read Fourth Wing. So I'd already read Fourth Wing before Iron Flame came out, and then kind of just got lost in all the noise and bogged down by people being mean online, so I never continued the series. So this is actually my first time reading Iron Flame. I'm nervous. Won't be reading the synopsis for this one in case there are any spoilers, but essentially Fourth Wing is Dragon Riders and Dragon Rider Academy, dragon bonds. There's some very interesting and fun relationships. It is not Shakespeare, but it is oh so fun, fast-paced, and just a kind of giggly fun time. However, there was also some emotional damage, so we shall see. Yeah, gonna get started on this one tonight. The line. And what would you have done with the knowledge had he shared it? He asks. Stop bringing logic into an emotional argument. Love it. Love it. It is the next day. I am about 100 pages in. This is 623 pages, I believe. I've got my fantasy reader's jumper on with the dragons, obviously. It's not going where I expected it to go. I didn't read the blurb, so that's probably on me, but it's not going where I expected, but I'm still enjoying it. It's really fun. The only thing I will say is I cannot stop thinking about the Ragpicker King. I can't stop thinking about it. It feels like I'm glad that I'm reading this because it's so fast-paced and action-packed and like easy to read right now. I'm glad that I'm reading it, otherwise I feel like the Ragpicker King would have been like such a slump-inducing book, so I'm glad that we're reading this one. I'm about to take the dog out with my dad, go for a walk. My sleep schedule's been absolutely hooped, but I'm going to do that and then settle in and read some more, and I will take you along. Okay guys, I accidentally lied and I didn't really take you along for continuing on with this book. I just reached part 2. I feel like part 2 is maybe what I expected the book to be like after the end of the first book. So I'm still very interested to see where this goes. I know a lot of people complained about the first book, or the second book rather, and were really vicious about it online. I don't really see what... It's very much on par with the first book for me. It's the same like quick, action-packed, fast go. It's a little bit more, like, I think it's maybe more gruesome than the first book, or violent, which is impressive. But I'm enjoying it. It's fast-paced, and yeah, we're about halfway through, just about to start part 2. I feel like I haven't really been filming lots. I've spoken about it a few times in my most recent videos with just the kind of hectic last few weeks, so I do think maybe my brain needs a little bit of a break from creating stuff at the moment and just give myself a little bit of grace. And I'm being pretty gentle about it, but I do recognize that, like, I'm not creating the content to the quality or up to par that I usually like to do, which is fine. Like, it happens, and I do post quite frequently, so it's like it's not always going to be top tier that I want it to be, and that's okay. But yeah, I'll probably just give myself a bit of grace with this. But I am enjoying this book. I won't lie, the first half I was just fighting for my life, trying not to just think about the Ragpicker King. I can't let it go. I miss Castellane. I can't let it go. So I think maybe after this one I might reread the Infernal Devices, because I feel like the Infernal Devices is the same, like, brand of pain and yearning that I am feeling for the Ragpicker King, and that's just maybe what I'm in the mood for, some more Cassandra Clare yearning after we finish this book. So we'll finish this one first and then reevaluate and see what I'm in the mood for, because I would like to maybe do some more series to continue on with, but I also could do some Cassandra Clare. So we'll see. I so sincerely do not know what to do with myself after that. Like, also, I know that so many people complained about the second book. It was pretty on par for book 1 for me. I had a fun time. However, the ending, that went hard. Like, the last 50 pages or so was intense. I genuinely don't know what to do with myself after that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'd give this a 4 stars. It was very much on par with the first book for me. I liked it. And I need the third book ASAP. But now I'm kind of scared to read the third book because it's not the last one in the series, so who knows what note that will end on. We shall see. I mean, it did distract me from my feels after the Ragpicker King, so that's something. I think I'm going to just like draw and watch season 2 of Bridgerton because that is my comfort show and will help me decompress, and then I will pick another book. I'm leaning towards either continuing on in another series, or you know what, I think we should just do it. I think we should just do a reread of Clockwork Angel. What a classic. What a classic. Someone I follow just put like recommendations for love triangles on their Instagram story, and I was like, this is the OG. This is the OG love triangle for me. So yeah, let's do this one. I know what happens, so I'm like mentally prepared for the pain, and it'll all be fine. But first we're just gonna chill and watch some TV and not think about these fictional characters that are hurting me right now. I have been so terrible at filming. Ugh. Okay, so updates. The next day I finished Clockwork Angel. This was actually a really interesting reread for me. Sorry, I literally didn't sleep last night. I could not sleep for love nor money. I feel like, can you get like situationally induced insomnia? Because I feel like that might be what's going on. Either way, I finished this last night and this was a really interesting reread. This was, I think I haven't reread this in like 7-8 years, and obviously I've kept up with Cassandra Clare's books as she's continued writing. So this was like my OG like love triangle. Will Herondale made me discover what a book boyfriend was. I was obsessed. These were like the 5-star ratings of all 5-star ratings for me when I was younger. And it's really interesting rereading it. Like, it's still super fun. It's definitely a YA fantasy, but it was also just quite like sweet because this is an older book now, and I continue to read Cassandra Clare's new writing, and just like seeing her evolution as a writer has been really lovely. It was just like a really nice experience. Like, it was still a really fun story. Cassandra Clare really does the like fast pace, like throw you in, super intricate world building and plotting, and like a really great little subplot of romance. Yeah, it was just really interesting. There were like, I definitely noticed like a few things where I'm like, oh, a little cheesy line there, I love it. But yeah, it was just really nice to see, after having just read the Ragpicker King especially, which is also adult, so it's a slightly different audience, but like it was nice. It was like, oh my gosh, I wish I was 14, 15 and could read this for the first time again, you know? It was a really fun reread. But yeah, I finished that last night because I couldn't sleep. And then Rogue Choice. I started, is it Binding 13 is the first book in the Books of Tommen, Boys of Tommen series. I have obviously heard about these all over the place, but I was a bit nervous, and I think what sort of put me off is the marketing online for it versus me seeing it in the YA section at my local bookshop. Kind of puts me off, and I understand different shops are different with it, where like YA is classified by the age of the characters in the book, and sometimes it's classified by the subject matter, so it makes me a little bit like ooh, just seeing it, because I think it's probably darker than is maybe appropriate, because even the content warning at the beginning say like for 16 plus for readers. So I'm not sure how I felt about it. So essentially it's going to follow the story of Shannon and Johnny. They live in Ireland. Shannon has been bullied horrendously throughout all of her school life and is eventually sent to a different school. And on her first day she meets Johnny, who has been laser focused on his rugby career and his evolving future chances for pretty much his entire like adolescence. He's never really lived as a child should, and then she's also got like big issues at home, so it doesn't really like, I don't really know what's going to happen, but it's obviously a very slow burn. It's interesting. There are definitely a few lines where I'm like, cheesy, whatever. It's interesting. I couldn't put it down last night, but I'm already on page 125, and my initial thoughts. I have a few pet peeves that are kind of coming up where, you know, when someone just like, you know, when authors just keep mentioning like how tiny the female main character is and how little, and like the weird one is like she's underdeveloped, which I understand is an important part of the plot. I don't know, it's just like it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. I mean, to be fair, I was a late bloomer. She's 15. I wasn't developed at 15, whereas I know a lot of other girls were. So like I get it, but it's also just like when you're talking about like how tiny and like young she is, I'm like, I'm not vibing with this. But then like their emotional landscapes and the plot going on around them and their connection is obviously very interesting. It's just like a little pet peeve that comes up a few times as the author narrates that I'm like, don't like it. I just kind of choose to ignore it. And they're also really focusing on like the age difference between them, which is 15 and 17. And I feel like that isn't necessarily a terrible age difference. Yet somehow, because of the focus on it, it makes me uncomfortable. Like I'm thinking back to, like, I don't think 15 and 17 is terrible. She's almost 16. But just the focus on it, I'm like, this is bad. This must be bad. I don't know. So yeah, it's just like there's some slight discomfort around it. I think that's okay. It's not like aggressively, and it's definitely like at least it's getting addressed. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm hooked. I'm really interested to see how it goes. They've literally barely spoken, and we're on page 125, and I'm hooked. And I've heard that this series just kind of like wrecks you. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sign myself up for some pain. So we're going to continue that. I think this will be my last book in this reading vlog. I was actually going to end after this one, but then I started this in the middle of the night. So I thought I'll keep going. So we're going to read this one, and then this will probably be the last one in the vlog. I feel like I've been horrendous at filming. It's Tuesday today, and it's the first Tuesday, I think, all year that I haven't uploaded, because I usually upload every Tuesday and Friday. Yeah, I think just giving myself a little bit of breathing room and a little bit of grace, and also just allowing that motivation to come back and that creativity, because I think you can't burn the candle at both ends all the time. So obviously reading is very nice for me right now. It's very therapeutic, but there is a limit to the energy that I have regarding different factors of what's going on in the day-to-day. That's okay. So we'll just see how things keep going, I think, because yeah, there's just lots going on. So I'm going to continue to at least upload once a week. I might just have to play around and see how it goes with the uploading schedule at the moment, and that's fine. It's fine. I don't really need to worry about it. It's supposed to be fun, right? So we're going to keep making it fun and not put pressure on myself and just do it to the extent that I can. But yes, let's keep reading this one. It is on Kindle Unlimited, which is quite nice because it's really popular, so I was happy that it was on Kindle Unlimited. I feel like I'm behind on my March reading. Literally me saying that there's been so much going on this month and thinking I'm behind on my reading, and I've still read like 8-9 books. The pressures we put on ourselves. For what? Okay, I've been yapping for like 10 minutes. Let's get into this. I'm about 70% of the way through this book. I look so tired. Oh, can you tell I'm not sleeping well at the moment? I'm about 70% of the way through, and I don't know, there are cheesy lines, there are some parts of it or like tropes that I'm like, this isn't necessarily my cup of tea, but overall, this is a lot better than I was expecting. I think I was anticipating it to be a more explicit, like dark romance, which I wasn't really fussed about, especially with said tropes that I wasn't super keen on, but it is really addictive. It's very, like, the trauma is traumatizing. These poor kids, and I think it's done really well because part of the characters are so mature, unfortunately, because of what they've been through, but at the same time they're still 16, 17, trying to navigate these really heavy difficult problems, and there's such a like sweetness to it, as at the same time as there's like, I don't know, I'm really liking it. It's quite addictive. It kind of gives me like Magnolia Parks vibes, where like yeah, I'm like 70% in them, and they've like held hands, and the yearning, the trauma. I'm enjoying it. This is like very addictive. I can see why this blew up. It's like a very easy writing style to continue on with. They're actually quite big books, which I didn't realize, but like, you know, sometimes you read like a romance and it's 300 pages too long. This doesn't really feel like that to me. It's kind of like with the Legacy series or Magnolia Parks, where there is so much going on and they're unpacking it at like a more realistic rate. But there's also just like a very, yeah, there's a sweetness to it, which is kind of difficult to explain. I don't know. I really like it, which I really wasn't expecting, which maybe sounds bad. But today they also announced there's another book coming out in May. I think it's something 10, Taming 10 or something. But no, I'm enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this a lot more than I thought I was. I think we'll finish it today. That was so good. That was so addictive. It was very much like the Magnolia Parks kind of vibes. Trauma. Also, did you just see me at the end? Like I was like 5 pages from the end. And then my mum and dad sat down and started having a chat during a very tense scene. I had to move. It was funny, but not funny. Yeah, I really liked that. Something that stood out to me was the humour. Like the banter and the relationships between like the friends. I particularly like Gibbsy, Claire, and even Johnny's mum. There was just a lot of very fun dynamics mixed in there amidst all of the not so great stuff, and I am immediately starting book 2. Immediately. So yeah, I definitely have like a few notes around that book and sort of little thoughts and qualms here and there, but I actually really enjoyed that. I think I'd give that like 4.5 stars. I liked that a lot. Definitely like new adult. I know, like at one of my I talked about this at one of the bookshops. It's filed in teen, like YA, and I wouldn't. I'd say like new adult, definitely 16, 17 plus. Very heavy subject matter involved and like very disturbing scenes. And I think like I haven't been through what these people have been through, but like I think it was handled well. In my brain reading it, I think it was handled well. Correct me if I'm wrong, it could have been not, but I thought it was quite respectful and maybe realistic. Again, I don't have anything really to compare it to, but I think it's maybe realistic. But having said that, I'm going to wrap this video up here. What did I read? Ragpicker King, Iron Flame, Clockwork Angel, and Binding 13. Definitely Ragpicker King was at the top. Binding 13 did surprise me, and then the ending of Iron Flame also went hard. I think that was really successful. This was a fun reading vlog. It definitely took a little bit longer than usual, and I know I've been sort of tired and maybe a little bit less focused than usual, but we've talked about that. You guys get it. You're fine. You're supportive. Thank you. But yes, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, let me know if you've read any of these books, if you have any thoughts on any of these books, any suggestions for future videos. If you did make it this far and you wanted to let me know, please leave this emoji in your comment as well. As always, the comments are my favourite. I love chatting to you guys about books. It makes me happy. And yeah, if you want to give this video a like or subscribe if you're so inclined, that would be lovely. It does help me as I grow my channel. But yeah, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.